Good morning, listeners and lovely audience from different corners of Thailand and around the globe, hopefully. It's now 9:30 in a beautiful morning in Bangkok, and you are here with me,นะคะPrichaya. And for those of you who don't know me, I am an Assistant Director for Information Technology of Language Institute Thammasat University, or LIT2. And I would like to thank you for joining us today for this special and very first time ever of Little Blended Learning series on empowering hybrid learning, an issue that is becoming more and more relevant to our teaching profession every day, right? And at this time, I would like to invite our Director, Assistant Professor Dr. Supong Tangkieng Sirisin to bring you greetings on behalf of LIT2.
Good morning. Good morning. You see me now?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, all LIT2ers and participants. Or students, right? So welcome to another webinar organized by the Language Institute of Thammasat University. So, today we are happy to have with us a distinguished speaker who is a young professor in education. She is Professor Dr. Jintavee Khlaisang from the Faculty of Education, Chulalongkorn University. And she will be talking about a topic that concerns all the teachers in this post-COVID-19 era. So what Professor Jintavee will share with us today is very important to all of us because her talk on hybrid learning today will give us more insight into how we can implement this new way of learning and teaching in our schools and universities. So, as you may have known, hybrid learning involves the use of synchronous lessons taught simultaneously in person and online. And this is a type of blended learning that focuses more on bridging the physical classroom and virtual learning spaces closer together into a more complete education. So as we know, hybrid learning is something new and it's something that is being implemented in many institutions now, including Thammasat University. And so it's a form of synchronous learning that happens both physically and remotely. So this is a new way of course management, and it takes a lot of efforts and some special IT skills are required for the completion and success of this novel type of education. So what Professor Jintavee will emphasize includes both the challenges and opportunities. So she will let us know what difficulties we're going to go through and how we can tackle them successfully. And, I like the phrase, a next normal, in the topic, proposed by Professor Jintavee, because, it's not just new, right? It's not just a new normal, but it's a next normal. It's so, future oriented. So we need to know what we should do next, to make our teaching more effective and suitable for the current situation and a future scenario. So I hope we learn a lot from our guest speaker, and I wish us all success in implementing hybrid learning in our context. So please enjoy the talk and thank you very much.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Dr. Supong. Moving right along, it's now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker again, Professor Dr. Jintavee Khlaisang from Educational Inventions and Innovation Research Unit, Department of Education, Chulalongkorn University.
Thank you so much, the director, Dr. Supong, and also Dr. Prichaya for inviting me to join in this webinar. It's such an honor to have a chance to meet with you all. With Thammasat University, actually, I don't have much chance to, to meet the professor there. Only, the football game that, we meet once a year. So this is such a great chance that, I have an opportunity to be here. Dr. Prishaya gave me a bit of your background already about the move toward the hybrid learning at the, you call Lead 2, right? Lead 2
Yes, of course.
at Lead 2. So today, she asked me to informally introduce, the hybrid learning to you all and inspiring you all to get to know this hybrid learning and some of the tools that you can implement. Okay, so I have prepared the materials in the Google Drive, and in that folder, please allow me to share my screen. In the folder that I just have it done an hour before the talk, like this morning, the shortened URL is bit.ly/ tu underscore JINTAVEE, as I share it in the chat box. In that folder, it has my presentation, and not only the presentation, I also attach the related documents. For example, some of the information that is good to know and is really related to the hybrid learning. For example, the information related updates about the digital 2021, what kind of devices Thai people have, what kind of content, digital content that most accessed by Thai people. And another document that I just added and it just newly came out is about the future skill set from World Academic Forums. These address all of the skill that need for the future of work. So this one, it will fit well with when we teach with our learners, not only the outcome of the course that we have to focus, but all of these skills have to be included. Okay, so these two files have the most the latest information about the digital tools and also the future skill set. Others are the related document, including like some of the articles related to hybrid learning, blended learning that I think it will be useful for you to further study in terms of implementing the hybrid learning. So I will, like address all of this during the talk. Let's go to the presentation. Now, can you see my PowerPoint on the
Of
screen?
course.
Okay, great. Okay, as Dr. Brishaya introduced, I'm teaching full-time at the Department of Educational Technology and Communication, Faculty of Education, Chulalongkorn Universities. And at the same time, I also go and in charge of the Deputy Director at Thailand Cyber University Project under the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation as part of my job. So today I will share my viewpoint about how to empowering the hybrid learning to the next normal. So let's start with some of the statistics about the global related to the daily time spent using social media. This is the average. The average, worldwide average is 2 hour 25. And as you can see, Thailand is above the average, is around 248, 2 hour and 48 minutes. So this is the stat about the daily time spent for the social media. And when we're looking at the people that using the internet, the age is around the user age is 16 to 64. This is the worldwide, the average. And Thailand of course, above the average is 8 hour 44. So this one for Thai people. If you look more in depth for only Thailand, you will see that this is the number of the total population, and the mobile connection is 90.66 millions, meaning that Thai people usually like one group of people have even more than one smartphone or mobile connections, including me. And almost everyone, around 69.5, can get access to the internet access. And this one is information about active social media users, 78%. In terms of the device ownership, is this the from Thailand? Okay, this is for Thai stats. So as you can see that almost 100%, up to 99% have mobile phone, 98.9 have smartphone, and laptop is 48.5, tablet is 34.7. So of all of these stats, what I try to um, what I try to make it here is that, as you can see that I think Thai people, we are ready to, to be the digital transformation with all of these stats, seem that we are ready. And last year, I have a chance to conduct a research study with UNICEF, collecting the data with teachers, K-12 teachers and students regarding the readiness in terms of the use of technology in school. It's found that actually like secondary students, they are very, very ready. And most of them use their own smartphone to access the content from the schools and also join the activities. Though they feel that this is so difficult for them, so challenging for them, but they know that this is the future. This is the future of learning that they have to accept and try to get used to it. Both teacher and students say the same thing. So that the result of the research project in terms of the secondary level in the school during the COVID, the first wave and the first wave toward the second wave that time. Okay. So here is another interesting stats. Here is the time spent on the internet. And you will see that for Thai people, actually we are using a lot in terms of reading, access the social media, and reading plus media. Also listening to the music streaming services, listening to broadcast radio, podcast, and also play game. When we're talking about the hybrid learning, it's meaning that we have to prepare the content materials and also have some activities online for our learners. And if you see this stat, it will tell you something that, okay, most of Thai people, we watch online video, meaning that if you plan to develop your content for hybrid learning, the streaming video may be the good choice because almost 99% of the people already watch online videos. And most they also watch vlogs. So many of my class, I ask my student to do vlogs since they already watch this a lot. So I ask them to do the daily reflections or monthly reflection, reflect what they have learned using vlog or video logs. Okay, and they do it very good. They also listen to music streaming services, online radio station, and also podcasts. So in this sense, it means that when you develop your online content or digital content, another solution may be the podcast in the form of podcast. You may invite the guest speaker, and if he or she not quite quite ready for the webinar or the video streaming one, you may just ask them to get online and you record as a podcast and share with your students. So these two options in terms of digital content, if you plan to develop the content for your students. And you know why I Google for the information related to the digital information? I found this to be interesting. This is the top queries for the Google Shopping, and this is for Thailand. So this is most popular, like yeah, all of these. Okay, so those are some of the introduction that I would like to lead to why hybrid or blended learning is important, and why we have to get ready to like transform our class after this, during this new normal to the next normal. Most of the instructors in my field, we believe that after, even though the COVID gone, but the use of digital content, digital activities, all of these still remain. And most of the class, especially in higher education level, it will be in the form of hybrid learning, where you can see like there are benefits of digital contents and activities. Then you will try to blend it with the face-to-face sessions. You will have your own personalized, customized teaching learning model that fit to your course. You will get the benefit of both online and also the face-to-face one. Okay, so the outline of the talk today will be the explanation about the hybrid and blended learning and how it works. I have collect some of the case studies to share with you from corporates and also from the academics. And also, I will introduce you to the learning tools that necessary for the hybrid learning course. Okay, so here are just the here are the concept. Here is the concept of the hybrid or blended learning. So two main keywords. First is technology, of course. So when we talk about hybrid learning or blended learning, technology is of course important, but the more important than technology is the pedagogy. So these two need to go together in order to have the effective hybrid learning course. The technology, there are three keywords here. The technology will help learners to learn the online content in self-paced mode, fit to their learning pace. So they will learn and master the content without the limitation of time, because some students may learn fast, some learn slow. So this one will help a lot for to support all of our students. So the online content, the self-paced content will be one of the key words in term when we talk about the technology that used in hybrid learning. Second will be for the face-to-face, we can still use the technology for the interaction. Many technology we use for interaction, and it will not end only in the class, but students, learners can further attend that activity even though the class already end. Meaning that for this technology is offer students more time, and they will not get frustrated to have everything done in the class. This one offer the flexibility in learning for students. And also during the class, when you assign students projects or assignments, they can have more time, more flexibility in terms of time and space, time and place to collaborate with the peers and also with the instructors. So these are the three keywords when you talking about the technology that's used in hybrid learning: self-paced learning, collaboration, and also the interaction. In terms of the pedagogies, of course, all of our courses have to go in line with the outcome-based learnings and also in the futures, competency-based learning. So with hybrid learning, when as you can see, like with the use of technology, it's offer you more time to work with your students. So all of the competency and outcome, you will have more time to get your student achieve. Not only 2 hour or 3 hour in the during the class time, but they can continue join your activity, your assignment online. And the mode fit type of teaching and learning model for hybrid learning, of course, is the active learning. For example, the most three popular is the collaborative learning, project-based learning, and problem-based learning. So these are the big picture, the concept of hybrid learning. Now I would like you to join what I mean by interaction, collaboration here. I would like you to join one of the tools that they call this tool is the classroom engagement, is the class engagement tools called Mentimeter. And you can see how active learning works, how interaction will work in your class using this type of tools. So now I would like you to please go to the Mentimeter. Do you see the Mentimeter screen? Okay. You can access this using your smartphone, and please go to menti.com, menti, MENTI.com, and use the code 4975094.
Ajahn, can we have a link through our chat box as well?
Of course, ค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
have to and then here. Okay, ค่ะ Try to find it.
Got it.
Okay, great. Creative, energetic, and smart. I agree. Okay. Cute. Okay, so every time when you use this kind of tools, I will further explain you about how you can, like find these all tools. There are a lot of this kind of audience response system, or sometimes they call audience engagement system. You can use to get feedback from your students. And I use it a lot when, like I teach online via Zoom, and then my students seem so quiet. So, like if you cannot force them to talk or to speak, I ask them to type, and then they did quite good. Okay, so I have used this kind of word cloud a lot. at the end of my lesson, I ask them to summarize, the keyword they have learned today, and then they will, like type in like 3 words, the keywords, and then I ask them to use this keyword to do the reflective writing. Like, okay, this is what I covered today, and then you use this keyword to for your writing, reflective writing. Okay, something like this you can design. This one we call is word cloud. As you can see that until now there are 20 of you join this word cloud, and the big font represent more people when comparing to the smaller font, meaning that maybe like a few or 4 or 5 people think the same with this keyword. So the size of the word represent the numbers of the answers. Okay, so this called word cloud. There are some word cloud that even tell you with the numbers. You can like track the number of, okay, this word, how many people answer that. But like if that word cloud have that much function of have that feature, the interface will not that nice. So you have to pick one, either the nice looking one, or the nice information one. So I choose this one. Okay, so something like this you can use this for your hybrid course, as the interactive tools. um, the next one, this question, I also use a lot when I conduct a workshop, and I would like to know, some of, like the participants' background. So I will ask them to, like to share their experience through what, all of these programs. Okay. Seem like at least you use the Google Suite a lot, and Kahoot, some Mentimeter, Quizzes, you Padlet, and Canva. Okay. So all of these tools is you will find a lot of higher education instructors use in their class, just for different purpose. For example, Canva you can use for your instead of using the PowerPoint, you can create the presentation in Canva. You can ask students to use Canva to do the infographics, or different type of the graphics works. It's quite nice. Okay. Some of you have used Padlet. Later on, we will talk about these tools. Okay, great. So this is another tools that you can use for your class. For example, if you not sure, like if your learners clearly understand all the topic you address, you may like put like topic 1 to 5 and ask them to rate their understanding, and then you can review, or like with them again, or things like that. Okay. Okay, last one. Okay, referring to the digital 2021, the information I shared with you earlier, I would like you to share with me back that what kind of devices or digital media that you think it will be appropriate to your hybrid classroom or branded classroom. As you can see earlier, like seem like 99% of Thai people have smartphone, and they access a lot. They use they access to video streaming a lot, podcast. So I would like you to think about, yeah, what kind of devices or the digital media. Maybe it's something that you already use in your class. You can share with us here. Mhm. Oh, I just found that here they also have the feature for start countdown. It's quite nice. Okay. So you can see that this kind of tools, classroom response system, you can first use the word cloud to ask your student to, to put the keywords. And second, you can ask student to rate, like the second question. And third, this one, they can also, uh, be able to put some like short message like this. Okay. So these all of tools is will become quite important when you plan to design your hybrid course. And I have the good resource for you to get update on, all of these digital tools that I would like to share with you. Here is the website called C4LPT. C4LPT. Let me share the link with you all. This is the link that, like edtech people like to update, like the new tools that they use in the class. I believe that if you get to be familiar a few of tools, you enjoy it, and then, like you will enjoy your hybrid courses as well. So here is the Central for Learning and Performance Technologies. Jane Hart is the founder of this center. And on this website, every year they will send out a survey, ask teachers what would be the top tools that they use for their learning. And then it updates every year. So the tools will be very, very brand new. So if you go to this tab, to the top tool for learning, then here is top 200 tools that you can use for your class. As you can see on the left, this is the ranking. And then they will tell you also the change from 2019, like Zoom, of course, up 8 from last year. And this one also tell you what kind of category of the tools. For example, this is video meeting platform. Okay, so if I try to do Control F, and then I type in Mentimeter, the tool that I just used. Mentimeter is at number 26 and it up 15%. So this may be the good choice if you plan to use, like the tool for your class, because it's going up, it's not going down, meaning that, other teachers still use it. And if you see the description or the category of these tools, it's called live engagement tools. Same thing with Kahoot. As you can see it here, Kahoot is number 24. It go down 3 from last year. So as a teacher, if you want to have the new tools and, work similar to Kahoot or Mentimeter, you can use the search box and search for live engagement tools to see other tools. Here it shows that there are 8 tools. So I will look for other tools that have the same features as live engagement tools. Here, poll everywhere is go down 6, so it may not be a good choice. Socratic is up 31, so you may consider this one. Woo clapped, come back to the list. Plicker down 28. Okay. Gimkit, if you are the teacher who like technology a lot and you like to use something brand new, this is just come into the list at number 179. So it's very new. And Answer Garden, but this is down 13. This one, this tool you can use as a word cloud, like I mentioned earlier. This word cloud will tell you the number of of each answers, but the interface is not that nice. Okay, so these are the way that you can update yourself about the tools. So my meaning is that, for example, if you know how to use Kahoot, you can also apply those how to other programs. And if you keep updating yourself with these all programs or application, you will enjoy teaching your hybrid or branded course because you will have something new every semester. Okay. So another tool that I would like to mention is quizzes. Quizzes. This is very interesting. K-12 teacher use a lot for the games and testing tools in the class. It's go up 115. So if like you're looking for some tools that coming in and very popular, I think this is one of the good choices. So not only they put all the tools into this ranking, but if you click on the program name, for example, I click on quizzes, you will see the link, the official link to the website, the course. Of course, is all of them are free, and availability is online. Another important thing is down here. They usually have the comments from some that use this program before. So they will put some of the comment, and this comment you can, can help you to think about how you can use this in your class. For example, this one, this teacher talk about quizzes is great tool for game-based learning and can use as a formative assessment. So meaning that, okay, if you plan to have your hybrid learning course and use the pedagogy as a game-based learning, you may consider this one as a tool to use in your class, right? So this is, one of the places that I use a lot to update myself about the programs. Now I can, okay. So coming back to the PowerPoint slide, technology, you will see that Mentimeter offer you the interaction, and it's not only limited in the class, but still is you can use it online, and student also can further collaborate it even though the class end. Okay, they can come back to the word cloud to see the answer on that word cloud, and then like what I use a lot, I assign them to further write the daily reflection based on that keywords. Okay, so this is another important concept of branded learning. There are 2 dimensions, and this is the metric. So for the location and time, the branded learning will fall into these 3 metrics. So the location, if your learner is in different location, but
excuse me,ค่ะอาจารย์. I assume that you are maintaining your PowerPoint, but we are still at the browser.
okay. So it's coming now?
Yes.
Thank you
คิว
ค่ะอา
ค่ะ
จารย์ค่ะ Okay, so the concept of branded learning, another very important concept. So there are two dimensions. One is location and another is time. So the metric here is same and different, meaning that your branded or hybrid learning course, you may define it as you have learners at different location, but they online at the same times or they take class at the same time. So this one, I think this mode we use a lot right now for when we use Zoom application is fall into this category. And also, if even though learners at the same location, but their access to our class to different time, this also consider branded learning or hybrid learning, meaning that this one it will be in asynchronous learning mode where learner will have the flexibility in terms of joining the content and joining the activities. Okay, and another model is like learners at a different location and also different time. So this is also considered hybrid or branded learning. So when you define your branded or hybrid learning course, you may think about this table or these modes. Which one is will be your design? And I also put this word budget. This one, when you're talking about the branded or hybrid learning course for professional development, for the training, or when corporates done the hybrid learning, they one of the key that they most consider is the budget. And when you done uh, hybrid learning in such form, in this form, it will save a lot of budget. Okay. So here on the screen, when you talk about hybrid learning or branded learning, there are also another two words that people always ask, like how different, flipped classroom and flipped learning. So if this one is the search result, I got it from Scopus database. And up here, they will tell you about number of the documents that you use this search term. These are for the branded learning. When you search for the branded learning, there are 7,000 document results and going back to the year 2011. But when you search for the flipped classroom, you can see that it's come a year later and a number is around half of them, and flipped learning even less, around 600 document, and is the first publication is came out in 2013. So this meaning that in our edtech field, we talk about flipped learning or flipped classroom is the subset of branded learning. It's similar, but is have the unique characteristic where the flipped classroom, here you will see the definition here. Okay, the flipped classroom, when you compare to the branded learning, the difference is for the branded learning, usually they will have the face-to-face lecture in the classroom, while the flipped learning, they believe that for the lecture, they put it online. And then for the branded learning, when you're talking about the classroom discussion, the discussion for the branded learning will be online, meaning that you will, if you have the branded learning course, you may give the lecture during the class and then have time for the guiding question and discussion, and then you leave more flexibility for learners to still get into your class to complete the discussion and complete the activities. This one for this article, this is how they define the format of branded learning and the flipped learning. So for the flipped learning, they will learn online and then they will come to the class for further guiding question, teacher will further explain the misconcept, and also learners will get to be in the group discussion. So these are the differences when you compare the how the setting of the learning for the blended learning and flipped classroom. Okay, so the benefit of flipped classroom is immediate feedback in the class. Of course, for the blended learning, it will delay feedback, but it will offer student more time to participate in the activities. So when you design, it depends that which one you value more, or which one fit to your course setting, to your context, and then you can design. These are some of the research studies in this area that I would like to share with you. There are many studies compare the impact of learning learning performance, and student cognition, compare it with face-to-face, blended learning, flipped learning, or online learning environment. These are one of the areas that you can done in terms of the research. Um, this one is just came out, and this one was published in very good journal in Q1 Scopus Computer and Education Journal. The manuscript named Dynamic of an Online Learning Community in a Hybrid Statistic Class, and they use the implication of the question-oriented problem-solving course design, meaning that you can see what I mentioned earlier. When you conduct the hybrid course, there are two keywords, which is pedagogy. Here, this is the pedagogy that this professor used, question-oriented problem-solving course design. And then he uses with the dynamic of an online learning community in a hybrid stat class, meaning that if you look into this article, they use Facebook group, and then he will use the question-oriented problem solving, ask students to put the comments, and then he collect all the comments and analyze, and to see the dynamic happen in his class. This is very interesting study, and I also attach the full text for you all. Okay. So these are the example that I think it very interesting one. And also when you read the research study related to hybrid learning, you will see a lot people talking about class engagement, how you can enhance the class engagement through your hybrid course or flip classroom, and academic performance among undergrad students. See, this one again, they're looking at the improvement of student performance, test satisfaction, and engagement. If you remember at the very beginning, I also mentioned about the benefit of self-learning or personalized learning, where students have the flexibility to access the digital content. That's why this keyword also another area of the interest, self-regulated learning. This study looking at the effect of self-regulated learning in the flipped history classroom. Okay. This one looking at the performance for using think pair share in a flipped classroom. Let me further explain this one. For this article, what they do is for the medical students, they're talking about they have a lot increasingly apathetic to passive lecture-based teaching method. So they address this issue and would like to have an active learning pedagogy. So what they do is that they put that content online, ask students to learn the video clips, the streaming video before coming to the class. And then when students coming to the class, they use poll everywhere for students to review what they learn in that video clips. So what they use is not only ask them to answer the question through the program called Poll Everywhere, similar to what you just do with Mentimeter. So you will do the, like access to the website and then answer the respond to the answers. But this teacher used the teaching strategy called Think, Pair, Share, meaning that the first round that we ask the students to answer the question related to the video clips that they watched before. And then when they done the answers, the results show that the answer is at the average score. And then after that, teacher asks student to get into the pair and then review the right and wrong answers. After discussing with the pair, and then teacher asked them to again do the quiz again, and then turn out that the answer is increasing a lot, meaning that they use the free classroom with this strategy, think, pair, share, to make their class is active learning pedagogy. Okay, this is one example. Okay, so how it works. This is some more example. If you plan to move your face-to-face approach to make it blended or hybrid. Normally, when you ask your learner to work in groups on projects, your learner will meet in classroom to collaborate and contribute the projects. For the regular face-to-face approach, to make it blend, you may consider the use of file sharing services, for example, like Google Docs, to collaborate and share with their peers to their groups. At the same time, teacher can also go and give the feedback for the projects. So this is one example, very simple one that you can use. And if you select this technology, you may say that, okay, you use the cloud technology for your branded course, because file sharing services, this is fall into the category of cloud technologies. Second activity, for example, learners practice conversation in a foreign language in pair or small groups. So for the face-to-face approach, you will ask learners to divide into the group during the lesson and talk about a particular topic. Then, to make it blended, you can give more flexibility and more time for your learners to use online services for text and voice chat. Okay. For the assessments, normally for the face-to-face approach, you may ask your learners write essay, take midterm exam, and final exam. So to make it blend, you can ask them you may look at the progress by the activity statistics. For example, you may collect statistics from Mentimeter, the one that we used earlier, or other programs, because most of the program will give you the statistics of how each learner participate in that activities. And then they can take online quizzes, tests, submit digital items, for example, video blog, to reflect what they have learned or to present their projects, and take part in peer reviews, because everything is in digital format. So if you assign for peer reviewing, it's very, very convenient. Okay. This one, I would like you to give you more example, and this is from the corporate, from the Intel company, because usually when we want to design anything for the academics, it's good to look from the business side, because usually they will one step forward us. So this is how the Intel have done for their training or professional development. When they do the hybrid training, there are 3 major steps. Step 1, they do the web-based training. So they use interactive, standalone e-course with text, media, and simulation. They said that this step provides learner with a basic knowledge. Okay, basic knowledge, self-study basic knowledge. For this one, this is the training for the technician. So they have the basic knowledge of equipment components. Step 2, instructor-led training. They will have the traditional classroom course taught by instructors that provide learner with the advanced knowledge here and critical skill needed for operating the equipment. So as you can see here, for the self-study part, you do with the basic knowledge. And then for the advanced knowledge and the critical thinking, or like the psychomotor skill, this is necessary for you to do the traditional classroom. And then step 3, manage preventive maintenance. So after step 2, when they learn advanced knowledge, they do 6 months hands-on on the job training to get used to troubleshooting and train psychomotor skills. Step 3, they do the on-the-job training for the psychomotor skills. Okay, so I found this model is quite perfect for us to apply to our hybrid learning course. If you can divide it, your content into basic knowledge, advanced knowledge, and psychomotor skills. Some setting like this is perfect. For the basic knowledge, students need more flexibility. They need time to self-learning. So you may consider this one as the online part. And then you ask them to come and to meet in the classroom for the advanced knowledge. And then part of your course you can manage for the psychomotor skills, for the hands-on or on-the-job training. Okay, especially nowadays toward the future, most of our courses is require us to go in line with the competency in our profession. So when you talk about the competency, psychomotor skill become very, very important. Okay, so this is the example, the case study from the Intel. Okay, now when you plan to design your hybrid or blended learning course, there are 4 components that you may redesign or give more importance on your hybrid course. First is about the learning objectives. Second, the activities. Third, the content. And last but not least, the assessment. Here, I mean that when you design your hybrid learning, you may redesign only one part of this, not all of the course. You may think that, okay, you will redesign your hybrid learning course on the content part because your content is very fit when you do the digital content. Learners learn better. Or you may keep the content the same, the face-to-face, but you move some of your activity to be online because you see the flexibilities, the more time, and for learners to join the activities. Or you may consider the assessment because you feel that when you ask learners to do the online assessment, to do the use the cloud technology, for example, the group collaboration using Google Docs, Google Presentation. In that way, you can give them feedback easily and effectively. So it depends on your design. Hybrid course and blended learning course is very, very flexible. It depends on the instructor to design the one that fit to your content and to your context. Okay. So until now, do you have any question, thoughts, or anything would like to share? You doing okay? Okay, good. So if so, I will continue. Okay. So first, the branded learning course focus on its outcome. So there are a set of outcome nowadays that we need to consider. First, of course, 21st century skills, including like not only our key subjects, but we have to be sure that our learners equipped with like all of these: information, media, and technology skill, learning and innovation, life and career skills. All of these, if you will put it in your face-to-face class, is very, very impossible. But with the flexibility of hybrid course, these all may possible. For example, of course, if you have your hybrid course, your learner at least have to like you will fulfill this information, media, and technology skill for your learners. Okay. If you assign them to study like self-study, you have like video clips and assign them to study before coming to the class. You start to ask them to have life and career skills where they have to have responsibilities, have to learn to self-direct themselves, so things like that. If you plan the activity, the online activity, and ask them to participate in like the discussion, you may enhance them critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity as well. Okay. Here are the list of top 10 skills. This is the one last year, 2020 last year. So you will see like um, all of these all about the thinking skill, like complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, and these all address all the soft skill that students have to have. Here, this is for the year 2025. The chart still quite the same. All of these focus future skill set focus on the thinking skill and also the soft skill. Leadership and social influence, this is soft skill. And flexibilities of this and others, you will see these are all the thinking skill. And also they have the one or two with the technology skills. This is the report from World Academic Forums. So if you plan to do your hybrid course, you may consider to address some of these in additional to your regular, your basic learning outcome. And this is DQ, also very important. Digital quotient, digital intelligence, and digital competencies. This one, you can set up the activity through the use of hybrid learning course of this. When you have to access to your digital content, digital activities, they have to, like go through all of this experience, at least some. Okay. Okay, here I would like you to show one of my research study back in 2014. That time I did the research about the branded learning environment and to enhance the cognitive skill as required by the Ministry of Higher Education, MOCO, or 5 ด้าน the cognitive skill for learners in higher education. So that time, this is how you can design your branded or hybrid learning course that focus on the outcome. Because again, like I mentioned, it offer you more flexibilities, more time, so you can assign the the activity that enhance their cognitive skills. The learning models. These are more learning models. This one is from the corporate side. The information from the corporates. They try to define the different type of branded and hybrid learning models that you can see there are a lot of, there are very, very flexibilities. For example, they have the type called rotation, meaning that, you have different type of stations or activities, and then student can join in the self-directed manner mode. Flex learning, they can use interchangeably with personalized learning. Okay. Here it means that students control their learning path, choosing what they want to learn. The instructor usually present in a mentoring capacity to answer the question. So this is some example of the hybrid learning model that you can adopt to your course. Gamification, we will talk about this in a bit later. If you would like to motivate your learners by letting them play, you can use gameplay elements such as points or level, and for your learner to feel a little competitions. This is one of the model that's quite famous nowadays. Teachers have integrated the concept of gamification in their hybrid learning course. Online lab, self-blend. Self-blending is supplemental content in the form of webinar, white paper, industry blogs. You have it available for learner for self-motivated learners. Online driver. This one is you will be more focused on self-directed and take place in a digital environment. Okay, these are all types of hybrid learning model that you can plan to adopt one or combine, like use some of these together with, like another model that would work as well. So this one, I would like you to show the example of how I did my flipped learning course integrated with the gamifications. This one I got the granted back in how to convert in 2558 นะคะ received the grant from วช นะคะ this one I did the flexible learning and gamification concept. So in my flexible learning, I have the video clips that have the interaction. So when my student learn, and then they will have this pop up as the interaction, they have to answer is right. If they did it wrong, they have to go back and relearn again. So I show you how it look like. This one I use the program called H5P, and here you will see that on this course there are like like the marker here. So if I play the clips, I will move forward a bit to here.
เสนอพร้อมกัน2คนก็คือเรื่องของ e-learning courseware นะครับแล้วสำหรับตอนที่4และ5เนี่ยผมเป็นผู้นำเสนอก็คือ
It's back then long time ago, and this time it got so nervous. So I didn't look that good on this clip, but what I would like to show you is, this technology. Actually, I feel that, this clip is quite boring. That's why I start to use the concept of interactive videos to, to gain attention, to engage my learners. So first you can see like here there is the pop-up menu to see my information. So at least my learner knows who am I when they come and learn this, and if they would like to further see my CV. And then I will move a bit forward to this one. You will see that I start to give the lecture.
ในบทนี้เนี่ยจะเน้นในเรื่องของขั้นของ analysis นะคะแล้วก็ design and development นะคะส่วนอีก2ขั้นเนี่ยก็จะอยู่ในตอนต่อไปนะคะ
Okay, so here after I finish my first topic, according my objectives, I finished my first topic, already explained it all, and now it's at minute 3.34. So I will stop it, and then I will ask, the video will stop, and then we'll ask learner to review what they have learned. So if I'm not a good learner, so I just, put it like here, and then check. So I got it all wrong. So what happened next is that if I click on this button to continue,
ค่ะในตอน
it won't let me, oh,
ตอน
this
ที่
is
1
not look good on me. Okay, it won't let me continue, but it will go back to see the minutes 2.26, meaning that the learner have to go back and relearn it until they got all the answer right, and then they can move forward. So this is one of the time that I use it in my flip learning course. Okay, and at the end of this lecture, for the flip learning course, for my flip learning course, I will have the link at the end here.
เป็นการสอนนะคะไปสู่ความต้องการหรือลักษณะใหม่ๆของผู้เรียนในศตวรรษที่ 21 ค่ะ
See, like I will have the pop up the link to attend the activity. So if the student didn't learn this before coming to the class, they will not know that there is such activities. And this activity, I collect the point. So if they are good student, they learn toward the end, and then they will join at this activity, and then they will get the score from, for the online part for my class. Okay, so this is example of how I design my branded flip learning course. Okay. Here, let me go back to then that for content part. But in additional to that, I also use the concept of gamification, meaning that this is my that time I used the Moodle learning management system, and that is the plugin that you can see here on the left. The gamification concept, they focus on two aspects. First, student compete with him or herself. So how to compete is that learners, when they complete a certain activity, they will have the level up features. They will go to the higher level. And then for the progress, they will have the mark that they already complete the activities. And also there is also the badge they will receive in the class. This one they will try to compete with themselves. And then another is ranking or dashboard. This one learner will compete with others. They will have the ranking like top 10 like top 5 learners, top 10 learners, and your score. This consider the gamification concepts where learners where we use the feature of game, but we didn't ask students to play game, but we use the concept of game integrated into our hybrid course. Okay, so this is the differentiate between game-based learning and gamifications, and this is the level that I use. So learners will have level 1 to level 5, and then when they complete a certain activity, they will go to the next level. Okay. Now I would like to further explain you. This is another branded learning model from the corporate training side. This one they divided into 4 types: face-to-face driver model, flip classroom, rotation model, and online driver model. And then they will tell the benefits of each. For example, for the flip classroom, efficient time use for the online part. For the offline application is encourage learners to put knowledge into practice. For the rotation, the benefit is work for the different needs and learning styles. Okay. Online driver model is the maximum flexibilities. Okay, so all these are the details. So you may decide to use one model apply to your course, or the combination, the mix of one or two. This is the rotation model very interesting that they do it in 3 stages. They do the instructorless session first, and then stage 2, they ask learners to go to group works, and stage 3, they ask them to do like e-learning. Okay. Now, I would like you to explain to you further about the tools that you can use for your hybrid learning course. Okay, this one is the thesis, the master thesis of my advisee. In this study, she used, see, word cloud. If you remember at the very beginning, I asked you to put like 3 words, like, that represent lead to instructors. So same thing, like this student, they do the effect of instructional using generative acumen instructional model. So this is her pedagogy that she used in the class. And for the technology part, she used online mapping, tag cloud. So with the combination of these, she believed that it will enhance scientific reasoning abilities. Meaning that when she implement, she asked her learners to, after she finished her lecture, she asked the learners to use the method of generative acumen. So they will discuss, and the discussion will be based on the tag cloud. When learners put all of the keywords for that class lesson, all the keywords into tag cloud, and then learner use the keywords in the tag cloud to conduct the online mapping, to tell the relationship, the connection. And then based on these resources, they will go through the generative acumen method, learning method. So by so doing, it will enhance scientific listening abilities. So this is one example of how you can put your, how you can develop your research study related to hybrid learning course. Okay. Now I would like you to participate in another tools so you can see, like you will have more idea about what kind of activity that you can use in your class. So I'm not sure if I already changed this. Hold on, let me check. If I already changed the link to this. Okay. So this URL works. And this is the shortened URL that I will copy and paste it in the chat box for you. Okay, bit.ly/tu_padlet. Okay. Okay, if you get into, hold on, it will be this one here. Okay. So I used red and yellow as your university color for this palette. Here, did you get the QR code here? Okay. Okay. Now I would like you to try, like I use this palette a lot for my class. Saying, this one is considered like brainstorming board where you can ask students to put different type of medias, like chat thoughts, idea and everything. So first I would like you to try, yes, your name and your characteristics. Okay, good. Very fast. So as you can see that not only you put the answer on this Padlet, but as the participants to this one, you can also give the reaction, add comment to the post. Okay, some of you start to do the second mission. Share your work from home station for your online teaching. Yeah, ring right become one of the very important, tools for us. I have two. Ajahn Prishaya is define her characteristic as active, which I very agree. Okay, very good. Let me give the heart to you all. You may ask your students to, join the Padlet like this, and then ask them to give the emoji to the best answer. And then you can maybe mention that, okay, who get the most I like this can give the extra credit or things like that. Okay. Suddenly, student will, actively involved in this a lot. Okay. So start with your name and your characteristics. And second, please share your work from home station. So you can see that, not only the text, but you can also share the with the photos. And also you can share different type of media. For example, if I click it here, not only the text, the photos, but you can attach files, capture videos from your cameras, recording audio, voice, share screen, draw, share playlist, and even share the Padlet page. Okay, so there are 4 activities. Second, share your work from home station. And the last one on the right is your Padlet idea. Okay, so for the third one, your dream destination, this one I use different type of, like Padlet. When you create a new template, there is this option, is the map. So if you click on this Padlet, it will take you to the map. And then what you can do is that you can click on this plus sign and then search place by name. For example, Japan. Okay. Japan. Shirakawa-go. I went there and I love it a lot. Shirakawa. Here. So for example, this one, and then love this place. Something like this. UK, York, Bainbridge, Hawaii. Okay. Do we have more pin? Okay. Try to join the total of 4 activities in this Padlet. So first, your name with your characteristics. Second, try to insert photos. Take photo and insert it. Third, the map. Okay, here. Okay, and fourth is your Padlet idea. Bruno, brave and charming. Nice. Okay, you will see some of you, instead of go to the map here, instead you use the one of the option in here in this post that you can also, add a location here as well. Or you can go to like this map here and can pin the place. Okay. So I think you all quite have enough experience in here. So one more thing I would like to share with you is that in this Padlet, if you click on the share top right, the share button, share icon, you can see that here you can get QR code. It already have it available for you here. And another good thing for your class is that you can export this one as the PDF files. If you remember, one of the slide mentioned that you not only have to one of the channel that you can use as the evidence for your class, to give students scores or credits or grades, is not only for the midterm and final exam, but what they do participate during the classroom instruction. For example, like this Padlet, you can also give them credits or scores. So here you can save it as PDF, can export it, or save it as image. So we have the evidence of learning from your class. Here when I did the normally when you start, if you would plan to use this one, you go up here, you have to turn on comments button and reaction here, because the default will be turned off like this. Have to turn on, and the reaction you can choose, like this one I use like button. You can do vote, star, or even give grades here. If you plan to use this Padlet as in one of your webinar or the seminar, like face-to-face one, and ask like your participants in the seminar to like give comments or post the questions, one of the option that will help you a lot is this one, is the moderator mode. So any post that when that post on this Padlet, it will require approval. So the moderator have to approve before it's showing on the screen. So this one I use a lot when I conduct the seminar or the webinar. So I will have this one on. So if I have this button on, anyone who posts or the post, it will not show automatically. I have to get approval first. Okay. Okay. Any question so far? Would you like me to take a short break or just continue on and finish earlier?
Yeah, feel free to continue.
Okay, sure. Okay. Now, the case study, more case study. I think this one will benefit you all when you design your hybrid learning from corporate and also the academic. This company, normally they will have 4 days classroom leadership and management skill in place. But the challenge is they want to make it more cost effective, limited time, effective team, and training experience. So what they did is that they to make the training content based resonate with our audience, they broke the content into small topic chunk, making it easier to consume, fit into their busy schedule, and giving them the ability to complete the session at one sitting. Since this is the training for the manager, so they don't have much time to, and by so doing, they will feel the accomplishment and progress. So the chunking the topic is become very important because as you can see, our learners now they cannot like stay long to our content. So as you can see that nowadays many people start to talking about micro learning and everything micro learning, micro credit. So the content is one of the area that many people consider to make it chunked, small pieces, easy to complete, and then student or learner will feel achievement. So this is one of the technique or tactic that very interesting. So this company have the 3 step for that training. The first, here you will see that the training manager will receive a weekly report from Elias HR system, which is with newly hired or promoted managers. And then he enrolls them in the program via learning management system. After 30 learners have completed their e-learning, he scheduled a 2 ways on-site skill workshop. So as you remember earlier, there are 4 days. Now they put the content, half of it online, make it small chunk, so it will easy to complete. And after 30 learners have complete, and then they will schedule a 2 days on-site skill works. So this one is very cost effective and very flexible and convenient for like that learners. So of course, everyone happy and appreciate the content and branded format and low cost, high return of investment. Okay. IBM case study, very similar. And IBM have done this for a long time, since 2004. This one is come from the branded learning book. IBM do a more serious workshop. For example, they have the serial of online courses, self-study for basic knowledge. Again, most of the self-study content is for basic knowledge. And for the face-to-face meeting, they focus on the more complex context, demonstrations, experiential learning, and also the social culture. This one will empathize during the face-to-face meeting, which I found this to fit a lot to our implementation. Okay, third, this one I have the direct experience with this workshop because I joined this branded learning course provided by APEC e-learning training program organized by APEC Collaborative Education in Korea. That time I was one of the nominate to to join this training, but this training is offer you in branded learning mode, where first you after I was the candidate, and then after I was selected, and I have to pass the pre-test. They said the organizer, the trainer will send us the online training courses and then ask us to complete it and have to complete the pre-test, and then they will send you the boarding pass and the ticket to attend the training program in Korea. So everyone before be able to go in there have to complete one set of content. And then when I arrive in Korea, the lecturer who come to give the lecture, it will not the lecture, but they invite the experts in the field and guide us to gear to the project development and share their experience. They will not give you the content lecture, but like they will ask the experts in the field to come and share the experience with you. And after that, during the workshop, they ask you to synthesize what you learn, from the online content, combined with our previous experience and what we learn from the experts, and write the daily learning log. Upon completion of the program, I need to complete the projects, and then we have the reward at the end, the fellowship reward, outstanding reward. Okay, so this is example of how you can conduct the blended learning training course. Very very interesting and very tired too. You have to complete things all the time here. Yeah, but I mean it's very good experience. Okay, now I would like to share with you like the two types of blended learning. This one blended learning course that design focus on technology part. So this one, as you can see from the topic, they're talking about the blended learning to improve the quality of primary education among underprivileged school students in India. So this one, the reason they use blended learning because they want to use this technology to solve this problem. So in the paper, they're talking about how to use the technology to enable the blended learning platform and to solve such problem. On the other hand, when you design your blended learning or hybrid learning, you may focus on pedagogy as well. If you remember at the very beginning, I showed you some of the example that instructors use the blended learning or hybrid learning to enhance like learning achievement, learning motivation, learning engagement. And this one, they use blended learning to enhance student written production in English through flipped lesson and simulation. This one, they focus more on pedagogy, how to use the proper pedagogy with the technology. So this one, they will have the written pretest, active learning, web-based simulation, debriefing, and written post-tests. So this is how the workflow of this hybrid course. This is another example. Blended Chinese language learning design and integrative review of and synthesis of the literatures. So this one will address the question in the emerging of area of blended Chinese language learning design. Okay, so these are the title, purpose, and what they use, theoretical perspectives, and the evaluation. I also attached the full text for you for your further study. You will see like most of the area they do it in writing and pronunciation. Okay, this is one of my research. I done it in ปี2556นะคะ almost 10 years ago, 8 years ago. This one also is the blended learning course focusing on pedagogy. So this one I name is pedagogical blended e-learning model with cognitive tools based upon constructivist approach for knowledge construction in higher education. So from this study, what I did is I review, all the articles related to blended e-learning in higher education, and I found three most popular and effective pedagogy that's used in blended e-learning, which is the discussion-based learning, project-based learning, and problem-based learning are the three most famous when you use the pedagogy integrated in your blended learning. And then I designed the model of those pedagogy and using the cognitive tools. In my field, cognitive tools meaning that the tools that enhance the cognitive learning. There are categories of those tools. So I use those together with the pedagogy, the three top famous pedagogy, to enhance the knowledge construction, which I use is in line with the Bloom taxonomy, the 6 level of learning. Okay. So here, okay, I think this is going to be the another part that I would like to share with you about the link to the content, Mooc content. Here, what I would like to address is here is that this is the information about the model learners. You will see here that the interesting things is here. Most learner won't watch video longer than 4 minutes. 4 minutes for the video clips. And they said that you have to gain attention to them here. 5 to 10 seconds, you have to grab someone's attention before they click away. So if you're going to imply this information to your content, the first 10 seconds, you have to make it very attractive. And then your content should not longer. I think 4 minutes is, I mean, is quite rigid. So you may do like at least less than 10 for the content for one topic, make it micro learning. So this is, like according to this information about the model learners. They found that, okay, by, if you follow, like in line with this information, at least, you will have the content that your learners will, pay attention to. Okay, so here I would like to move to another point that you do not have to create all of the new content by yourselves, but there are a lot of free available content. For example, like this one. This professor teach physics.
One of the most remarkable things I just mentioned to you is that
from MIT.
One of the most remarkable things I just mentioned to you is that the period of the oscillations is independent of the mass of the object. That would mean if I join the bulb and I swing down with the bulb, that you should get that same period. Or should you not? I'm asking you a question before we do this awful experiment. You count. Wow, my expectations are high. I want to hear you loud. You ready for this? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. And here is the femur of an elephant. 0. So I need a volunteer. 1, 2, relax. What does it remind you of? 2, 1, 0. T with Walter Lewin. 45.6 plus or minus 0.1 seconds. Physics works, I'm telling you.
So this is one example very exciting lecture, right? Okay, so things like this, I took it from MIT OpenCourseware. MIT OpenCourseware, let me share you the link. There are lots of content, not only in physics, but also in other disciplines. And MIT make it available for everyone to use. So this is the starting point of, later how it's become Mooc course. They start with the OpenCourseware. Long time, I think almost 10 years something ago, MIT have the initiate project called OpenCourseware. They want to open the content to the public. And then if you even not the MIT students, you can learn. So let me share this screen with you. So here, if you go to Find Course, there are a lot of topics. And you may take, some lectures for your class. So for humanities. And then here are all of the clips. Okay, so my meaning is that when you plan to do hybrid learning, you may go shopping for the free available content, by very famous professors and use it as part of your content. You don't have to create all of, the content by your own. Use some of these. So your student will be able to know, what available out there. You may put, a few, maybe like the same topic from the few professors and ask them to compare. Okay, what, from these three clips, what is the point that all the three professors talk the same? What is the difference? So you ask them, you can enhance them their critical thinking by doing so. Okay. So now I would like to talk about the future of learning. That is the trend called Mooc. And this is the growth of Mooc coming in 2012 and going up. This one capture is from Coursera, and this is the popular courses. Most of the popular courses are mostly in personal development, in computer, in language learning, also famous. Actually, there are a lot of Mooc platform, not only Coursera, but the reason that I capture the screen from Coursera because according to Dawa Shao, um, he he developed the website called Class Central, which in my field, we consider this website, classcentral.com, to be the Google for Mooc. Here, he summarized the top 5 Mooc provided by the users. Coursera, 37 million, edX, 18 million, Sutang X from China, 40 million, Udacity, 10 million, and FutureLearn is 8.7 million. This is the screen capture of Coursera. They will have a lot of courses provided from these Ivy League universities. This is the latest stats. You will see that Coursera is still number 1, followed by edX, Udacity, FutureLearn, and here Swayam is the Mooc platform from India, is coming in top 5. And I also Mooc learners, and I take like these courses, very, very interesting. I would recommend you if you would like to upskill, reskill related to the self-improvement. This course teaching you learning how to learn, a lot of learning strategy that you can share with your students. It's the all-time top 100. Okay, so let me share the this link with you the classcentral.com. So if you would like to shopping for Mooc, getting tired of shopping of clothes, and then you can go to classcentral.com and then find the Mooc course, do the professional development. Okay, here, let me share the page with you. So this is the Class Central, which I mentioned earlier. This is considered like Google for MOOCs because they combine all of the MOOC platforms within one search. Okay, and Thai MOOC also in these Class Central categories. So they will have the best online courses of all time, view ranking, this one. And then when you go into that, you will see like the schedule, like the start date and the end date, and then have the review from the learners. You can see the trailer, syllabus, some course here. This is the MOOC provider. This is from Coursera. This is from Future Learns. And so this is different MOOC platform at X. So all of these you can use as the resource for your learners. In my class, I usually require my students to complete at least one MOOC course, but I give them option. They can do the, the international one like that, or, do the MOOC course from Thai MOOC. So they know that this such, like content available out there, and they can continue reskill and upskill themselves. So this one, I would like to talk a bit about micro-credential. In many MOOC platforms, they start to do like the programs or the degrees. For example, micro master program, professional certificate, online master, or the global freshman academy. So nowadays, the future trend is, of course, the hybrid learning. But when you do the hybrid learning, maybe part of your hybrid learning, you may take the content from MOOCs, or you may ask your students to combine, for example, if your university accept the credit bank system, they can transfer some of the course that they received before from micro credential and then transfer into your program. So this could be going to be the future of higher education. So it will offer you more flexibilities, more opportunity to continue in terms of the education and also related to your professional development. This one, for example, they have the full-time job and then they do the micro master program for their professional development, and then they can continue to complete later on when they want for the master program. Okay, so this is some statistic of Thai MOOC. I'm sorry for the font and also, it's in Thai, but I will translate it for you all. Until now, Thai MOOC have around 650,000 learners, and for today, I think it's close to 700,000, and it's increased dramatically during the last year COVID-19 from 300,000 to close to 700,000. And the age of the learners is from 13 up to 60 plus. For this group of 13, for the K-12, like high school students, I heard that some of the teachers start to ask, like students to plan their future job, what they want to become, what faculty they would like to attend when they enter the universities. So teachers use Thai MOOC or the MOOC as one of the resources for learners to go and explore what they want to become later on in the future. And also, of course, the working age group uses to upskill, reskill. And for the retiree, they use it to maybe to reskill, upskill, to do continue their jobs or to do as the hobby. Because some of the course is, like for example, you can use it for your hobby, like photographer course, for example. There are a total of 472 courses and divided into 11 categories, like these all categories. There are the 33 courses related to language and communications. And the top 10 courses, number 1 is psychology and daily life. Number 2 is English for communication. This one very popular. There are up to 25,000 learners in this course. And number 3, like I mentioned earlier, the photography course. Number 4, infographic design. Number 5, startup English, also famous. And this one, 10 top courses where the learner complete and receive the certificate. This is this course, the English for communication. There are 25,000 registered and around 5,000 complete, around 1/5. Okay. This is normal rate, because when you talk about Mooc, there are a lot of people attend and learn, but the expected completion rate is around 10% something. And this is Thai Mooc is a project under the Ministry of Higher Education, and all more than 100 universities have like produced the course for Thai Mooc at the in Thailand and also at the international level. And this is example of the course, how it look like the user interface. Okay. Is work well both in laptop, smartphone, and tablet. Okay. So I have around 15 minutes, and then I will open the floor for the questions. Last topic I would like to mention here, that as I mentioned earlier, your design hybrid learning course, you may not have to change everything. You may choose to change like content, activity, or the assessment. Anything that you feel that it will make your course better. Okay, so anything that you feel that online mode, it will make your course more effective for the learners. They learn better. For example, you may start with your content. If you feel that, okay, I did a lot of online lecture during Zoom and I did quite well, so let me do the micro learning course, like small piece of content, and learners can learn before coming to the class. And then when it's class time, you can further enhance them into more deeper knowledge, or even like the knowledge or the skill required by the 21st century learners, or required by the future skill set, that kind of things. You may redesign your activities if you feel that, yeah, like if you the activity online is offer learner more flexibilities, and not only learners, yourself as well as an instructor, more flexibility in terms of to check their works, to keep track of learners works or the group's collaborations. Or you feel that the assessment fit well with your course, you may focus on only the assessment part. So this is your options. Like I mentioned earlier, hybrid learning is very, very flexible. Like just you use the combination of face-to-face and online one, and if it make your course more effective to the learners, the higher achievement, learning achievement, learning engagement, that's your own model. You can personalize your own model. And that the model that you personalize, I will challenge you to do the research in line with, when you change, move toward these hybrid courses, because it will be very unique and very interesting. Like, the many articles that I shared with you earlier, all of those, from the instructor experience when they transforming their course into the hybrid learning. Okay, the last area that I would like to mention, that when you plan to transform your course into the hybrid mode, another important area is the assessment. So normally you will have the two kind of assessments, the formative evaluation, meaning that during the instruction you have the formative evaluation, and the summative evaluation, like the name, is at the end to see whether your learners achieve the course objectives. And during this formative evaluation and summative evaluation, there are three more keywords: assessment of learning, assessment for learning, and assessment as learning. So this is the nice picture of how to explain how it's different. They said that assessment of learning, this one to demonstrate the achievement. So this is high stake kind of assessment, because they said that high stake grade and on midterm exam, project essay, GPA grade, degree classification. This is very high stake assessment. On the other hand, if you want to do the low stakes assessment, you do assessment as learning, where student will self-review or peer review to make the judgment of the work. Students will have a chance to collaborate to develop their own shared assessment criteria. So assessment as learning, meaning that it will self-regulated and critical evaluated. So this one, student responsible is decision maker, and this one we consider is authentic assessment. It will fit with when you convert your class to the hybrid mode. And another area is assessment for learning. This one will focus more on teachers to give feedback on learning and teaching here. Okay. So here, student will request the feedback based on the self-monitoring. So these two, assessment as learning and assessment for learning, consider the formative evaluation, and at the same time consider authentic assessment, which consider to be a low stake one and fit very well with the design of your hybrid learning course. So when you're talking about the hybrid learning course, these few keywords you will hear about the assessment. Hybrid learning course offer you the authentic assessment, where you can keep track of your learners participants to different tools, as you've seen earlier. And also teacher will be able to give the feedback simultaneously with the learners. Learner can self-regulate. They can review their work. So if you do the hybrid learning course, the model will become like this. You will give less importance to the assessment of learning, where you demonstrate the achievement by only the test, the quiz, or the exam. And then you will be more focused on the assessment as learning and assessment for learning, where you will ask students to do the activities, group works through the through online platform. For example, this one, I use Cocker, ask students to do the mind mapping, the group mind mapping, or you may ask them to do the Padlet to join their thoughts and idea, to comment with their peer works. Or you may ask them to use the program like Canva to do the presentation as the summative evaluation. Use it together with the scoring rubric. And assessment for learning, you may ask your learners to do the reflective thinking, to do the reflection at the end of the class. I like to ask my student to do the reflection in Google presentation and share with me. So by so doing, I can keep track of my student works, and I can random select, some who did very good, and, to share with the class. I don't have to ask all of them to, present in the class, but I just random, select them. And for others who didn't have a chance to give the presentation, I still can give them the feedback online. So this is these are example of the one that I already did in my class. I usually ask my student to do the learning reflection via the Google presentation, to do the video clips, summarize their project works, because like when we do the project, it take a lot of time when they give the presentation. So I ask them to do the video clips, and then during the class time I ask them just to summarize, and then the full version, you have the video clips to share with me. And this one, I like to go to the student works, and then here I give them comments, and then when they correct their works, and then they will remove my comment. So by so doing, this one is very convenient, time saving, and students love to like personalized learning space. They love to get the feedback and get the peer assessments. Okay. So I think this is all. Again, my final word would be, when you plan to design your hybrid learning course, just try to enjoy, and keep in mind that you don't have to change the whole process of your course. Just select the area that you think the online mode will work better, make it complement with your face-to-face mode, and then you will have your own personalized, unique instructional model. And I again will challenge you to do the research project along with when you do this transformation. Okay, last but not least, I have the small gift for everyone, which is my ebook. So you can access to this one, this link, the ebook about the technology enhanced learnings. I collect all of the research study I have done in terms of the technology enhanced learning, and also the innovation that I received the award from different countries. I put it in here, and maybe you can get some idea from this book. And also, when you transform your assessment into the more online assessment, more authentic assessment, you may need the scoring rubrics. So I have it available here for you. This set of scoring rubric is focused on the thinking skills. So I have the set of thinking skill rubric that you can use, and this is research based. So it's you can be sure that this is meet the standard. And this is the scoring rubric for the information, media literacy, and ICT literacies. Okay, that would be all that I have prepared for you. And again, all of the research study, the manuscript I mentioned is also in the Google Drive. I have the full text for you there. So feel free to download, and if you're interested in any of that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much ค่ะอาจารย์จินตวีนะคะ Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for our morning. But before we say goodbye, I would love to see your beautiful faces.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you can turn on your camera so that we can see who you are. And I might also need your permission to capture the screen, just to keep the record of who are our participants this morning.
to do the attendance checks, right?
Yes, that's right.
I did it every day with my students, so they are very good now at like taking photos.
So it might take a few while because we got about more than 60, I think. Yeah, more than 60 participants this morning. Actually, from what I've seen, our maximum rate this morning is 76, I guess. But now it's down to 60. But don't worry. Okay. Another one. Okay. Okay, ha. So once again, thank you, Professor Dr. Jintavee Khlaisang, for this insightful sharing and a very eyes-opening experience this morning. And of course, to all of you, our lovely audience, for making time in your busy schedule to join us, to join Lit2 Blended Learning Series webinar. So wish you all pleasant and lovely day. Enjoy the rest of the day. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you. Thank you. And if you are interested in more of webinar like this,
Thank you.
You can keep an eye on our Facebook post, or you can follow our hashtag Lit2 Blended Learning Series. And at the end of this presentation, I would love to send the evaluation form to all of you to the chat room here in a few moments. And that would be great if you can spend a minute or two to complete the form. So bear with me a few moments. Okay, the form is now in the chat room, in the chat box. So it would be lovely if you could spend a minute or two to complete that form. So once again, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day ค่ะ ขอบคุณมากค่ะอาจารย์
We haven't seen your link yet.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ Thank you ค่ะ
Thank you.
Thank you ค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you. Oh, that's the form. That's the form.
Thank you, Krab. Thank you so much.
Don't forget the form.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you everyone around the world too. It's nice to see faces from international teachers. Hey, Carl.